What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? This your boy Enlightened Luciferian Prince coming at y'all once again. Um, I want to inform y'all about a particular maneuver that's going on sometime this month. We all know that it's quote unquote Black History Month and all this thing. Like me, myself, I particularly don't get caught up in hype. I mean, every day for me is melanated history. As far as I can inform and educate myself on certain topics, I will. But what I will tell you is that I'm going to raise awareness about a plan that's being hatched. And we already know that, those of us who are avid students of history know that, particularly that this agenda that's being placed out behind this particular figure is not something that is organic in regards to us as people who are melanated. Now, who am I talking about in reference to my topic of discussion? It is Mr. Tyler Perry, Madea himself. Yes, people, Mr. Tyler Perry is particularly pushing an agenda that is trying to calm and alleviate the apprehensions of the COVID vaccine. Now, another thing is, in certain states, you don't have to believe me, you do your research, you figure it out for yourself. They're also offering people free marijuana in certain states where it's legal in order to take the vaccine, which means that if you really take it, you're really down bad for real. But in certain states, they're also giving prisoners, privileges, more free phone calls, more commissary for taking the vaccine. In certain states, they're even giving you gift cards. They're not worth much, but they're incentivizing this. You know what I'm saying, people? And when people as a populace are distrustful, then it's what I call the monkey effect. Now, people might be like, what do you mean? Well, in India, practiced for centuries. There's a way to catch a monkey, You hollow out a coconut, you put some candy in there or some type of other delectable in there, and then you simply step away. The monkey probably has actually been sitting there watching you do it the whole time, but then realizes that they can actually get these delectables out of this hollow coconut. And then the hunter or the trapper, particularly, runs up on them, and then they actually take this motherfucker and they go ahead and capture it. But you know what the monkey never did? The monkey never took his hand out of the coconut. And unfortunately, that's what's wrong with majority of the world's population. See, if I put a price tag on something, and then not to mention how minimal this price tag really is in certain instances, then you have to really take it into strict consideration. So what I'm saying is this, people. For those people who want to go ahead and do what these people are passing out as little tokens, keep your hand in the coconut. For those people who watch from a distance, they ain't even going for it. But what I will say is this. In this particular instance, what they're trying to actually get you to try to realize is that, first off, Tyler Perry does not represent all of the melanated culture. I don't even remember one of his movies that I personally watched where I actually even gave a genuine damn, because most of it was coonery and buffoonery anyway. Yeah, I said it, but it is what it is. All of it is always shadowing the negative aspects of melanated culture. Now, a person with that much influence, that much resource, and that much particular film creativity should actually be focusing on the positive effects of our culture as opposed to shadowing the negative ones. So people, gotta watch out. But without further ado, let's roll up the sleeves. Here we go. Actor and producer Tyler Perry is trying to calm apprehensions surrounding the COVID-19 vaccine in Black communities by going on television and getting the vaccine himself to do so. Now, the show is called COVID-19 Vaccine in the Black Community, a Tyler Perry special. Here we go, people. The drama. Not only does Tyler Perry roll up his sleeve to get vaccinated against COVID-19, but he also sits down with doctors to help ease concerns about the Black community that they may have about the vaccination and the pandemic. He told CBS, which is the acronym for constant bullshit, but call it what you want, CBS this morning that he has been skeptical about getting the vaccine and trusting in science and the government. If you look at our history in the country with the Tuskegee experiment, Henrietta Lacks, and things of the like, that it raises flags for us African American people. So I understand why there's a healthy skepticism about the vaccine, he said during the interview. See, this is a cognitively dissonant person, but this is also a person who is actually paid large sums of money by private investors who actually want to promote this amongst you. You better be aware that's all skinfolk and kinfolk. The government allowed black men to have a progression of syphilis and actively did not treat the illness during the Tuskegee syphilis study to see the natural progression of the disease in people of color. Henrietta Lacks died of cervical cancer in 1951, but doctors harvested her cells without her consent, without her knowledge, or to actually be used in research. Now, the truth is, her family wasn't actually compensated until 2013. You can read Henrietta Lacks' story if you wish to do it. You can read certain articles on it, or you can read actual books on it if you wish to go peruse the internet in regards to it. Do your research. You know exactly what it is. He said once he did his research, he was happy to get the vaccine. Deciding on the Pfizer version, the first dose went fine. After the second, he said he had aches and pains that were relieved by Advil. The black community has been hard hit by a coronavirus pandemic, with African Americans dying from COVID-19 at a rate 3 times higher than that of white people, which is a bullshit ass lie. Because what they're trying to do is to raise this type of alarm in the community of people that are melanated, because your president, if you voted, Joe Biden, said particularly that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were the only individuals that were actually hit hard by this COVID-19 virus. Check this out. Let's look at the foundation of this fuckery that we call United States. What were the 3 hardest or more indigenous communities of people that were actually hit harder by European genocide? Let that sink in for a minute. Let's go further. The Kaiser Family Foundation, which is another eugenicist foundation founded in the early 1900s, we have to understand that 1 in 3 African Americans were not sure about getting the vaccine. 1 in 3. So if you look at the statistical difference, a lot of us ain't flying with it. Now, those who ain't flying with it, I'm sticking with you. I'm reaching with you. First off, we don't pay attention to those myths, as I say, from the facts. But what I will tell you is, people, another 2 French doctors, I forget their names, slips my mind, said particularly that we should go to Africa, a place that statistically has the lowest cases of coronavirus, quote unquote. We should go test the vaccine in Africa. People, I don't care what no one says. They're trying to fucking kill you. Period. Now, if you don't want to hear that significant truth, go ahead and click that pause button. Go ahead and unsubscribe. But I'm telling you, they are targeting specific groups. Have y'all not ever read the book Global 2000? Have y'all ever not read The Population Bomb by Paul Ehrlich? Have you not read the Rex 94? Have you not read any of this stuff? It's not a conspiracy. It's a proven fact. Have you not read any of this stuff? Have you not done your research? But in order to make people that are melanated acquiesce unto this agenda, that's what it is, we're going to give you Tyler Perry, who makes some of the shittiest movies that I've ever seen in my life. Straight. You just learned a very significant truth in less than 10 minutes. Now, I know that most people, because again, everyone's being controlled by most are controlled by an invisible hand, won't go with the flow. That's fine, but don't come around me with that bullshit. I'm going social distance at its best. That's crazy. You don't know what's in this stuff. And why is it so particular that you guide and direct this at specific groups of people as, quote unquote, Your president, Joe Biden, said in his speech, you can look it up on YouTube. He said within the next 30 years, people that are on the opposite end of the spectrum, Caucasians, are going to be the statistical minority. And they're dead afraid. But then we look at history. Not racist, being real. They've always been that way. Always. What's the difference between today and 100 years ago? See, all these drafted up numbers that they have in these history books, let me tell you something. I can tell you what. Don't think for 1 second that people of color didn't fight the fuck back. Now, might not like it, but it's the truth. Oh yeah, in this month, you will get this word on these subjects. Straight. But because we have a lot of passive people, I'll go further if I want to. I'll tell you what, from the history of the earth, as we know it, in the historical context, you better believe it's not for you. And this individual actually got it. But what you need to take close attention to is the fact that he took it. If they say if it's legit, it is what it is. But it's funny how you give one of the most influential people in the movie industry the vaccine first and try to convince everybody else. Because guess what? His studios, which are located in Atlanta, Georgia, are actually larger than Universal Studios. They're actually located in Hollywood. Well, Tyler Perry, get lined up. But me, I do not consent. I do not oblige. This is just a tidbit of information, educational, not opinionated, but proven fact. So those of you people who are subscribed to BET, which I should also mention, is not actually a quote-unquote melanated-owned company anymore. As the whisper said, the beat goes on. Like and subscribe if it's your first time viewing my channel. If you disagree with what I have to say, please rebut the statements. But what I will say is this, people. Don't be fooled by the imagery that they present to you. Don't be fooled by the concept that they're giving you that people of color are actually sitting here, because what they know is that a lot of people buy your social media posts that you put out there in the world. They know particularly that you yourself are apprehensive about this in the first place. They know that. But you have significant historical evidence to be apprehensive about it. Significant. So, y'all play whatever y'all want to, but it's your choice. Hell, I don't give a fuck if you get it. It's your body. You gotta deal with it. Straight up. A lot of people don't hear that, but, well, that just shows the level of your indoctrination. Cheers to you, though. Mango Nectar. Shout out to my Hispanic community. It's a good brand. Man, that's good. Boy. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Coming at y'all later. Love, light, peace to y'all. Agents, you know what it is. Take care.